confirmation, my mother did cry during the senior day activities, which
Sounds about right.
I jokingly said that last week. I'm a little bit surprised, given that outside of Nick, these dudes have only been here like 8 or 9 months. That she was that emotionally invested. But she said, this is a different team. This team has a feel of some of those teams
Yes, it
where
does.
you had guys that have been here for 4 years and how much they liked each other and played hard. And
Which player? Who is she most connected to? You think is it Nick?
well, considering she made a statement on Friday, she said the way that Nick smiles makes her think that Nick and I have the same personality. So I think that's her way of saying that. Yeah, Nick is probably her favorite.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah, it definitely
was like
felt
the
different.
knock on this team. I thought that was going to be the knock on this year's team, is that no one had any type of relation to them. Like, yes, you had Nick, Temple guy came back, but that was it, right? Like these are all fresh new faces. Where they're going to be able to create a relationship and people be able to learn their personalities in time. And that, it seems like yes, the answer is yes, right? But I think winning helps a lot there too.
Yes,
certainly winning, certainly that helps. But I think too, we talked about it in the offseason. A big part of that in any team that I've ever been a part of, where do you like the point in which you're building the most in a team aspect and like bonding with each other is all during the off-season workouts, right? Like the hardest parts of conditioning, the workouts in the summer or whatever season you're playing is leading up to the season. And like we've talked about it before in years past, I mean, we've had teams not even finally constructed until the semester has started. And what was something that we pointed out this past year is they were all here day one on move-in and worked out together all summer long. Like, I think them being here without school being in session, doing nothing but working out and conditioning and being in the gym together, like enabled them to develop some of those relationships and like truly form friendships with one another. So then you get into the season and it makes everything just like that much easier. You're not trying to do that bonding and connecting while also like practicing for games because you haven't really gotten an opportunity to like even know each other outside of basketball.
I would also say that Penny's played a role in that. The trust factor is with Penny, right? The fans trust what Penny says. And this is the first year, I think, since the transfer portal era has started that you haven't heard him publicly say things about his team that would cast them in a negative light, right?
Sure.
Like talking about, I can't play certain guys together, lineups I can't play. My seniors don't like my freshmen don't like my seniors, whatever it may be, right? One of the things I've appreciated about Penny is that this season has not been filled with the level of drama that previous seasons have. Not that there hasn't been flare-ups, right? These are all alpha competitor guys coming from different places where they've always been the guy. There have been not to the level of other things, but there have been flare-ups, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you're always going to have that in a competitive environment with
alphas out there.
Guys that are coming from somewhere there, like you said, they've always been the man.
And one of the things that I've appreciated is Penny has not litigated that publicly at all this year. He has not said, he is, every time you hear it, this team, the care factor on this team, this team, I trust this team. These guys are great. And like, I think that because what would happen is, I remember last year when Penny came out and he said specifically, I can't play certain lineups together, fans started to go, all right, let's really zero in on
that out.
Yeah, you start speculating who it is and what.
And then David Jones is the problem. Javon Quinterly's the issue. Jordan Brown's the issue. That kind of
Noah
stuff.
Stansbury, they can't put him on. Like, why is he not playing? It's because he can't play with certain guys.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think that's a part of it. Like, I do think that there's not been the drama because Penny hasn't litigated things publicly, like he has in the past.
Well, and that goes back to what we were just talking about, right? His reflection and growth over the offseason.
100%.
Like learning from some of that. But yeah, I mean, not even just putting out there any flare-ups or things that have popped, but also I feel like he throughout the entire season, after losses or anytime something like that was going on, like he himself just took the full ownership of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like the Wichita State game, for example,
Yeah.
he did not hold back and come out and try to tiptoe around what happened or saying, like, he straight up was like, that was probably my worst coaching job
Yep.
by far of the year and maybe since I've been here.
Yep.
Like he straight up just owned it and put it all himself. Whereas in years past, like
Which
Kenny is
one,
saying,
right?
like,
I mean,
yeah, that is what you want. But what Kenny was, what Kenny's alluded to and what we've seen before is like,
yeah,
sometimes when that's happened, it's, hey, we had the, we had the game plan. They didn't stick to it. And I don't know why. Essentially being like, I did everything I could to have the team prepared. And it's without saying it, like you need to ask them what the hell happened. Why didn't they stick to the game plan?
I think he actually has said that.
Yeah, no, he is 100%. He said they've had the game plan and they just didn't follow it. I don't think he said it this year, but
nah, I think so.
But no, I mean, that goes to his growth, and look where it got us, a freaking regular season championship.